live and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man D-Real coming at you with another Be Real with D-Real, where edutainment is what I do. And I really feel like edutaining today. So that's what I'm going to do for a few minutes. And we're going to get off into some fun stuff with regard to Afrofuturism. It's going to be really educational. So I hope y'all stay through the entire video. Now, before I get off into it, I need y'all to do, you always do for me. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D-Real page so that when new material comes out, you get first crack at it. If you're digging what a brother's shoveling, put some dirt in my bucket. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the page. Afrofuturism. Okay, this is something I've kind of been, on a tangent about in the last couple of videos and lives and stuff like that, because I really want people to get an understanding of what Afrofuturism is. And believe it or not, it is a movement. And in order to get you to understand what's percolating with it, I need for you to understand exactly what it is. Here, ladies and gentlemen, is a nice working definition courtesy of Wikipedia. Afrofuturism is the cultural, aesthetic, and philosophy of science and history that explores the intersection of the African diaspora culture with science and technology. It addresses themes and concerns of the African diaspora through techno-culture and speculative fiction. That's a fancy way of saying science fiction, encompassing a range of media and artists with a shared interest in envisioning Black futures that stem from Afro-diasporic experiences. And that's a really cool picture in there. That picture is called the Serengeti Cyborg. You want to get a closer look at it. That right there is a very excellent example of Afrofuturism, the Serengeti Cyborg. That is by an artist named Fanuel Lewell. So shouts out to Fanuel Lewell for challenging our imaginations with imagery like that right there. You will also notice in the definition of Afrofuturism, it basically states Afrofuturism can be depicted in more than one form of media. So even though a lot of us here are comic book nerds and movie nerds, anime nerds, that kind of thing, okay, challenge you to understand and know that some of the popular themes in Afrofuturism are reclamation, revision of the past, present, and future, and Black liberation, as we saw in that image of the Serengeti Cyborg. You should be able to, or feel free to, combine past and present, as was done with the cyborg. We got a little bit of the past, we got a little bit of the future in that. Okay, one of the more popular examples of Afrofuturism is also the Black Panther. Oh, but how about I challenge your sensibilities and get you to expand a little bit? Music. Is there Afrofuturism in music? Now, just looking at that image of that Janelle Monáe album cover should evoke some other stuff in you. We can't talk about Afrofuturism in music without talking about the big three of Afrofuturism in music, that would be Herbie Hancock, Parliament Funkadelic, and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Yeah. Okay. Herbie Hancock. Let's take a look at some Herbie Hancock album covers. Now, Herbie Hancock was largely a jazz artist. Okay. Herbie Hancock's been around a lot longer than people have known about him. And Herbie Hancock has been in the background of a lot of things. But if you look at his album covers, you can clearly see the influence of Afrofuturism and everything he does. He imagines, he envisions, he sees Africans or African people of African descent as being around in the future. Because the only thing that keeps popping up in my head every time I think about Afrofuturism is I think about that comedy routine with Richard Pryor.
I don't like movies when they don't have no niggas in them. I went to see Logan's Run, right? They had a movie in the future called Logan's Run. Ain't no niggas in it. I said, well, white folks ain't planning for us to be here. That's why we gotta make movies. And we be in the future.
Now, I just recently saw that again in a Netflix movie that came out recently called Is That Black Enough for You? And I will be doing a review on that in the coming days. So y'all watch for that. Excellent documentary. Excellent, excellent documentary. If you haven't watched it, you need to. But anyway, Herbie Hancock in the 70s, his music changed up altogether. A lot of y'all that are watching this might be too young to remember, but y'all can go to Spotify and look up songs like Rocket. You can look up songs like Chameleon. You can look up songs like Watermelon Man. And it doesn't sound like anything of time because he went and combined a lot of different things like, jazz music with synthesizers, those kinds of things, and was one of the pioneers, well, one of many pioneers who helped usher in the era of funk. And again, funk is something that is totally Afrofuturistic too, because not only did Herbie Hancock help to usher in, a lot of artists did, but these other two, even more so in a way than Herbie Hancock. They all, as you can see from the album covers, they definitely envisioned a future for Black people. But take a look at my man, George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic. Now, I think George Clinton went a little bit deeper with it. His Afrofuturism definitely has a sci-fi edge to it, more so than fantasy, because, Mothership Connection, the clones of Dr. Funkenstein, make my funk to be funk. I want to get funked up. I want the bomb. I want the P-funk. I want my funk uncut. Ha. Just lyrics like that alone. You ain't ever at that point, you've never heard any lyrics like that. And George Clinton, more than any other person, is responsible for the rise of the funk era, because everything Parliament funk is in the name, funkadelic. They was funky, but more so than anything else, like y'all saw, a lot of those images on Parliament Funkadelic album covers and gatefolds and posters and things like that evoked futuristic images of Black people. They planned for us to still be around. There was a revision of the past, present, and future in those images. It was reclamation of Blacks being a force to be reckoned with. And now, if we want to get on the deep mystic tip, as far as Afrofuturism is concerned, ain't nobody that does that better on their album covers than Earth, Wind, and Fire. Now, see, with Earth, Wind, and Fire, a lot of those images are steeped in mysticism and the history of ancient Egypt and the visualization of Egypt and making Egypt and everything Kemetic look more futuristic. You know what I'm saying? It was a polished kind of futuristic thing. And I think more so than Herbie Hancock and Parliament Funkadelic, they more effectively fused present and future as well as the past. So and it was a made you think kind of a thing. You know, they had albums, like Spirit, that's the way of the world, gratitude, devotion, those kinds of things, you know what I'm saying? And it just, kind of made you meditate on being more in tune with your fellow man, because it was the 70s and there was a lot of can you dig it going on. And a lot of us could dig it. And through their music, at least for me and a lot of other people that I rocked with, they made me envision a future where we would still be around. That's what Afrofuturism is. That's one facet of what Afrofuturism is, making you look deeper into who you are and visualize the beauty of yourself, visualize the power of yourself, visualize the creativity of yourself in whatever form of media you are able to do that in. This is me, and I'm trying to get y'all to rock with it. Afrofuturism needs to be pumped up, y'all. It's a movement, and I need y'all moving with me. Talk to me in the comments, y'all. Tell me about what y'all think about Afrofuturism. And I will be coming at you with another one of them other ones. I might do a series on Afrofuturism. I will be coming at you with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other.